So if you have like corroded aluminum wheels or anything aluminum or even other types of metal, I've even used this to polish out plastic. If it's got like okay, so like the other day, my fog lights, which are have plastic lenses, my fog lights on my '07 Ford Ranger, I use this to get the oxidation off of it. I think they call it oxidation. It's like when the plastic on the outside, the outer layer, gets like yellow, or in my case, it wasn't even yellow. It was just like kind of like that looking, you know, kind of like white, like foggy looking. I had to do a little bit more than this. I had to use really fine sandpaper to get it down, but this helped a lot. But yeah, I'm not recommending anything to anybody. I'm just talking about what I do. I'm not going to be held responsible, but just showing you what I do. But yeah, this will work really good on if you need to polish up. Like, you need to make sure your aluminum rims aren't, or any metal, I guess, but particularly rims, because that's usually what people are using this for. You need to make sure they don't have a clear coat on them, because if they do, this is going to dull the clear coat, and it's not going to help anything. It's just going to make things worse. But if they don't have a clear coat on them, or either they did but you took the clear coat off, you can use this to polish them up. And this also seems to protect a little bit too. Like when I use this and then I wash the wheels after, it seems like water beads up, kind of like I waxed them. But this stuff here, this stuff works really good, but it doesn't really polish. It's more of like a wax, although not totally. It does polish a little bit, but this stuff seems a little bit more aggressive. I don't know if it's because it's grittier. This stuff is like, here, let me show you. It's like a bunch of wool. I don't know what it is actually, to be honest. I can't find it, but I think it's like wool, and it's got like some type of wax on it. It's not a wax, really. It's different than that, but it's kind of similar. I mean, I've polished the rims with this, and this stuff will turn like a dark gray because you actually are taking metal off. It's just this seemed like it was doing the job a little bit quicker. And this stuff I used, like I said, on that lens on my fog light, and I polished it out with this. Well, a little bit more than polish. What can I call it? Like I buffed it aggressively down with this, and then I went over with this stuff, which is really what you want to use, but if it's like really heavy, this isn't going to cut it. So I used what I have rather than buying more stuff, because they do actually recommend something on here. Forget the name of it. I think it's a restoration kit. Yeah, right under number 3. Meguiar's headlight restoration kit is what they recommend if it's too far beyond just being able to use this stuff. But yeah, I use this stuff, and then I buffed it out really good with this, and it looks almost like new. So this stuff didn't do anything. I tried to like buff it with a piece of this, and it didn't seem like it was taking anything off. This is, again, these two things are for metal. This is for plastic. I've used this on my clear coat when I wanted to, well, like today, I had a little bit of a mess where I was in a hurry. I was trying to touch something up. If you see my other video on how to touch paint up, I was touching an area up, and like I dripped, and I tried to kind of thin it out with the brush, and I let it dry, and I couldn't get it off. I took this stuff and I rubbed it aggressively, and it took it down. I could have kept going. I got most of it off. I'm satisfied. Then I took this stuff to it to buff it a little bit more fine, and then I just went over with a wax, or, well, I don't even know if this technically qualifies as a wax, but it's like a wax. It's like a spray-on wax. So yeah, just figured I would talk about these two products in particular and what I've found use for them.